Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly, sponsored by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined via Zoom by the head coach of the Valpo women's basketball program, Mary Evans, coming off a 2-0 weekend of Missouri Valley Conference play with wins over UNI and Drake. And coach, after some of the adversity your team's battled through this season, particularly recently, how rewarding was it to win 2 games this weekend? And what was the emotion like surrounding the team following the first ever win over Drake on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really exciting weekend for us. I think, we've been going through a lot the last couple of weeks, as every other team in the Valley has been going through as well. And we just continue to talk about playing with the people that we have. And that's the reason why we're a team. And, next kind of players standing up or stepping up when their opportunities come. And I think the kids have really rallied around that. They had a great week of practice last week, and I was not there, obviously being out with protocol, but my assistants did a fantastic job keeping them together. The girls did a wonderful job coming to work every day and doing their job, and it paid off with having a really good weekend. And I'm really happy, really excited for them. They've continued to just plug along and work hard and try to get better. And that's what we've talked about all year. And, I think they're starting to see some of the rewards from their work. We're shooting the ball better. I think we defended better this weekend. So super excited. And obviously, getting that first win over Drake meant a lot, especially to our older players, our 5th and 6th year seniors. I know it meant a lot to Caitlin and Grace and Shay. And those kids, Elise, those kids that have been in the program since year 1. So super happy for them and excited to get back to work this week.
You mentioned Caitlin in that group, and let's talk more about her. Take me back to her decision to come back for a 6th year, and what were those conversations like? And then how rewarding is it to see someone who made the decision to invest another year in your program have a game like she did on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, we finished up last year, and I think, there were some opportunities that kind of got away from us last year. And I think we all agreed that this year was an opportunity for us to have a really good year. And obviously it's been kind of a rough start to it. But we still have stayed confident. We know the team that we are, and we know how well we can play. And obviously we didn't shoot the ball the way we wanted to at the beginning of the year, but I think we all still believe in who we are as shooters, and that those percentages are going to start to balance out at some point. And we're going to start shooting the ball better, which I think we have done since conference play has started. But, she was excited. She wanted to come back. She wanted to make a run at achieving some of the goals that we've had the last couple of years that we haven't been able to obtain as a team. And so, to have her back and to have that leadership back. And the thing about Kate is, no matter what's going on with her individually on the court, like, she just shows up and she works every single day. And it's hard to keep her out of practice. And some days we need her to stay out of practice because of, she's old and she's physically tired some days, and she's, needs to rest her ankles and stuff like that. But she's got a tremendous work ethic, and she has shown that to a lot of our younger kids that have picked up on that. And she just is a great leader by example, as well as using her voice. So I was excited for her to have that day. I mean, she's been due for one of those days, and she came out confidently shooting the basketball, and they fell for her yesterday. And her teammates did a great job of finding her and getting her those opportunities. And I know it was special for her to have that kind of night on the first win over Drake. So really happy for her and happy for this team.
Another player who's been shooting the ball well is Olivia Brown, 10 of 14 from 3 over her last 3 games, 3 straight games in double figures. What prompted you to insert her into the starting lineup, and what type of progression have you seen from Olivia from the beginning of the season to now?
Yeah, Oliv is been playing tremendous for us. And I would say she's been tremendous in practice the whole entire year. I think she's gotten more and more comfortable with our offensive and defensive systems as we've gotten into practice. She's an extremely smart basketball player. Obviously was known coming out of St. Bonaventures for her ability to shoot, but we found that she's a very well-rounded player. She can get to the rim. She's shown that the last 3 games as well. I think she's shown that she's a very good defender. And so obviously when we came back after Christmas and Carrie went down with the ankle injury, it was a no-brainer to kind of insert her for Carrie, and she has taken it and she has run with it. And I'm really excited. I think the thing that, you don't see from the numbers is just, she is very poised on the court, and she gives us a little bit of like a calming factor when she's out there. She never gets high. She never gets too high. She never gets too low. And I think that's been a welcome addition on the court, is kind of that person to just kind of be like, everybody relax, we're going to be okay. And we haven't had that on the court, I think, this year. And I think it's really helped our team kind of get back into their groove.
You talk about poise, and you needed it on Friday night, down 13 in the fourth quarter. And not only in that game on Friday, but there have been several games like this over your time as head coach. 11 times that you've rallied from double figures down. And a lot of times you'll see teams kind of unravel when they're down big late. Just how do you, as a team, keep your composure in those moments?
You just try to talk about doing things the right way. And we talked at halftime about what we needed to do defensively. We knew we couldn't give you and I another 30, 33, 35 point half. And so we kind of set a number at 25 that we needed to hold them. And, we kind of got off. I thought we defended well in the third quarter. I thought we defended well the whole second half. I think in the third quarter, we defended really well as well, but we couldn't secure offense or defensive rebounds. And so I thought we kind of settled in the fourth quarter. We started getting those defensive rebounds. And we talked very much about just getting stops and scores. And I thought the team did a really good job with that. And they did that as well as Drake. When Drake made their run there late in the third quarter, fourth quarter, we talked about, Shea hitting those 3 free throws, getting a stop, getting another score, push. And kind of a workman-like attitude of just stops and scores. That's all we can do. That's a game of basketball. And we talked a lot about that yesterday, and that it's not, there's a way to win, and it's not easy to do it because you have to be focused and you have to get stops and you have to get scores, but that's how you win games. You have to stop people on defense and score on offense. And it's simple, but not always easy to be able to do that. But I thought they focused in and did it well this weekend.
You touched earlier in the interview on the fact that you were in COVID-19 health and safety protocols over the course of the week, and you missed the 2 previous games. So take me back to all the adversity of last weekend. What was it like watching from home when your team is playing? And then how did you kind of overcome all that adversity leading into this weekend?
Well, I think, watching the team play was difficult. It's never fun to not be around, but, I've got a great staff. I've hired wonderful people first and basketball coaches second. And they really stepped up, and, we watched film, and I tried to talk with them, but then let them run the team and try not to, micromanage them. And that's what you have to do as a head coach. You have to hire really good people that you think are good coaches, and then you have to trust them to do their jobs. And I'm very fortunate to have a fantastic staff, and I have fantastic players as well that are open to being coached and and going through that adversity. And like I said, they did a great job, and it's difficult. It's tough as a player. The unknown of whether you're going to be able to play or not, the unknown of taking a test and feeling fine and finding out that you have something and it's going to knock you out for 5 to 10 days. I mean, that's a hard feeling for a kid that's a competitor. So I think that was really difficult on the team. And I think, we've kind of gotten through that now. And I think now they're kind of settling back into, okay, we're going to be okay. But, as a player, it's frustrating to have to sit for something when you don't feel sick and you don't realize you even have something. But that's kind of what we've been going through the last couple of years, and they've done a fantastic job, and it's been hard on them. But, sometimes life is hard, and you have to figure out how to get through things, and you face adversities. And we talk a lot about it's the tough times. It's how you react to the tough times that really is your character. And I think they've shown great character over the last 2 weeks. And I'm excited to go to battle and fight with these kids game in and game out and day in and day out for the rest of the year.
And finally, let's look ahead. What can you tell us about Bradley and Illinois State, and how do you continue the success this weekend?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend. That's a tough road swing going into Central Illinois, and Illinois State is a very talented team. They've got some very good offensive components, and they're a very tough defensive team. So it'll be a battle like it always is. It's typically an ugly game, a low-scoring game where we're trying to figure out how to score, and they're doing the same. And so I anticipate a very similar thing when we go into Illinois State on Thursday. And then we'll get ready for Bradley. Bradley looks a little different, obviously, with the loss of Gabby, but they're a very good team, and we're going to have to go out there and they're figuring some things out, and we'll catch them after a weekend of figuring things out. And we'll have to be ready to guard them and, again, be able to score. They're a very good defensive team, a very physical team. They're both very good rebounding teams. So we're going to have to make sure that we're ready to hit people and box out and collectively rebound the way we did this weekend.
There she is, the head coach of the Valpo women's basketball program, Mary Evans. Again, for all the latest, as always, in Valpo Athletics, you can follow Valpo Athletics on social media or visit valpoathletics.com. This has been Valpo Basketball Weekly, and it's brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.